on strings. In other words, that could be a chess move. I'm going to tell the American public I don't support her so it doesn't look like I'm the one making all the decisions, when the truth of the matter is a Kamala Harris White House might be a Barack Obama White House wearing a skirt.
Whew, that was loaded.
Now, remember, this video was done several months ago when Biden dropped out of the race. But
So
now we already know at this point now, Obama went on and endorsed, Harris. But look at the time frame it took him to even come out and say he would endorse her.
That sounds like hesitation.
And this is the problem that I have, and I'm like Baker. This is the problem I have with Negroes, is because they have eyes, but they don't see, and they don't see and pay attention to the patterns. They don't understand how government operates. They don't even understand how every time we send money, or money is being sent to Ukraine, we're actually getting a loan from the private bank, which is the Federal Reserve.
Let me say this: like, the problem is, and you and I know this both. It's like we are so fast to jump on. Let me vote for something that looks just like me, without actually doing
everything shiny and gold.
I know that, but I'm just speaking to our Black culture, which we do this all the time, without going into. And I'm not gonna lie, I love Dr. Umar Johnson, even though he has some controversy things. He says what he says on his mind, but he is right where when it comes to African Americans, I'll stick with that label. When it comes to voting, they just vote on
color,
who looks like them, color.
That's it.
And another point that he pointed out to is like the lesser of the evil. And they're like, okay, we know both candidates are evil, but Kamala Harris is Black to me, so I'm just vote for this person without doing any kind of research or behind the scenes of like what she done previously or what her campaign is about. Of course, they're going to get the main stuff they put on TV that's strongly promoted to the masses, but to really do some really deep digging and finding out what this person is really about, not too many people want to do that because we're so used to information being handed to us,
or just being programmed and passing it down, so people just believe what you say and not taking the extra step, the extra mile.
This pattern and cycle has not helped us ever.
No,
and I don't understand why we keep doing it.
I don't understand why Negroes keep complaining, and they know they keep doing the same shit, and because they're doing the same shit,
that's insanity. That is insanity at the finest, and we do it over and over again. It's like, I'm gonna vote for someone that looks like me, even though I probably don't agree with what they're campaigning or what they've done in their history. I'm gonna hope it all turns out all good, and then when the voting's done, I'm just gonna lay on my ass and do what I was doing before.
You know what? The thing about it is what I learned about the American people, and not just Blacks, is this.
What's that?
People love to be lied the fuck to, and they vote for the best fucking liar. When someone is telling them the truth, they don't want to vote for them
because it don't feel good. It don't feel good.
But you want to vote for a liar that's that's a liar or the best liar, and then not provide
the time of era where everybody is more concerned about everybody's feelings. I'm not gonna go because we're gonna talk about the other subject me and you discuss on my podcast, but this is definitely a time of emotions where it just goes haywire. When you speak logic, it
goes out the window.
Out the window and pretty much looked at down upon like you're the bad person.
It does.
And if I show an article that's been from a credible source or any kind of actual factual information, it's going to be heavily debated to be proven wrong based on that person's feelings. And they don't have, which is the correct way to argue and debate, another credible source to back up their own argument. That is you know what? I wish America would understand this. If you want to argue, find your source, then spit your argument but at least you have some kind of credible document or whatever source information to make your argument stronger. Don't
I
come out
agree.
the woodworks
Yeah.
with nothing and no kind of credible source, and
And you
then
just
just
expect somebody just to believe every word you say when you have no facts. You have you going off emotions, your opinion, which doesn't even line up with the facts. Now, don't
at
get
all.
me, that's why I agree with Dr. Omar in regards to the lesser of two evil. I've been saying that since day one,
Of
since
course.
she got in. There's a lesser two evil. The question is, do you want the devil that you know, or you want the devil that you don't know? Because you
Let's
don't
not
know what you're getting with the one that you
let's
don't
let's let's
know.
not lie. Everybody wants to deal with it they don't know. And everybody
So,
wants to pretty much play this I want to do what feels good. And to
and
be honest,
and
and
that's why we're in so much debt right now, because it's all about feeling good with no logic.
you
And
know
this is
what?
the
I'm
reason
I'm
why
I'm, I'm gonna
people
piss
are
I'm gonna piss some
becoming
people
broke,
off with
losing
this
their
comment.
homes, and,
I
and inflation is
I,
so high is
I agree.
because of they damn feelings.
I agree. And I'm gonna piss some people off with this comment, but it's the truth. And then you bump into people who love the market like myself, who will take advantage of your feelings just to piss you off for more attention because you're so gullible for your emotions.
And that is
I
a
and I will play the fucking villain if y'all don't catch that. Maybe y'all will eventually if it hits the head. Maybe it's just gonna keep going on your head on purpose, just so you can kind of come to whatever I'm doing to try to criticize that. And meanwhile, y'all motherfuckers don't realize it's actually going in my favor.
exactly. So it's a mind game, and people don't understand the psychological game that is being played 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days out the year. This is just no more
All the
than,
time.
and there's different ways. Even people that work play mind games to get you to
It's all
do
over
what
the
they need
place.
to do to work and to do that. It's not any different with politics. The only thing is just escalated a little bit more higher than the lower level where you're at. And so
Politics is
I
all over the place. Mind games is all over the place. Let's
when
not
I
even lie. When you in relationships, and I'm not just talking about couples, and when you come in relationships with your family and jobs, networking, and all that and much more, it's all like chess at all the time.
and
Everybody's trying to figure out what the next move is. Everybody's trying to figure out how I'm gonna benefit for this. How everybody's trying to figure out like what your strength and weakness is. It's I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. We are constantly strategically trying to think of the next move all the time. All
yeah,
the time.
because
Even your
let's look at
inside
think
your
about
house
it.
and out.
Check this out. Blacks always voting for Democrat. But yet and still, the Democrat that you voted for, that's the president now, was the one who did the crime bill that was mostly against, that was majority against blacks. But you still voted for him, and then that bill is still at this day that cops, law enforcement are using against the black community. But you still voted for the Democrats. Now, check this out. Now you need a job. You trying to work hard and what have you. Of course, don't get me wrong. Trump can put his foot in his mouth like an immature child. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm looking at facts.
Mhm.
I'm looking at patterns. But when he said black jobs, and Dr. Umar said that, he was right, because at one point the the people that were incarcerated, they can't get certain jobs. So what other jobs can they get? Cutting grass or a mechanic or something like that. But right now, who's getting those jobs? Hispanics. They are mostly illegal.
Right.
So they're taking those jobs. They now, if you look, like Baker has stated, they're taking over constructions.
Of
When
course.
blacks, there used to be a whole bunch of blacks that would be construction work, building buildings, homes, and all.
I need to get back to that, to be honest.
Where are they? Because now if you're gonna vote for someone that's gonna allow, I repeat, allow the illegals to come to the country, who's gonna foot the bill until they get on their feet? The
You know what?
American people. So if the
And
American people is footing the bill, That's why the inflation is high. Now, is it guaranteed that those illegals going to pay into the government system? There's a high probability, majority of them probably will not. So therefore, you are being drained for what you could have had, that you should have had, that you ought to have, but you don't have.
And let me say this too. Like it blows my no, I'm not, it doesn't blow my mind. I laugh at it every time when I hear African American. I hate that. Well, African American basically say like you have to vote Democratic. It's the
You don't
black
have to
vote.
vote shit.
No, no, let me finish. And I'm like, do you not realize how many Black Americans were actually Republican that made a
Mm-hmm.
huge shift in America? Let me just put out one name that actually, I sent you the link, that actually made a huge impact to America that was in the Republican Party. Frederick Douglass.
Yes.
Frederick Douglass.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all continue to keep saying this BS that no blacks will ever be on a Republican or whatever thing that y'all been brainwashed to believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, on paper, that has been most of the civil rights that have shifted for our own pretty much privilege and opportunities have been pushed by Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to be like by like, but it's the fucking truth. It's on document.
It is because you know when blacks really started voting for Democrat during the time of Frederick D. Roosevelt administration,
Thank you.
and it started escalating in Lyndon B. Johnson time. But blacks mostly voted Republic from after the Civil War and through early parts of the 20th century.
And I may be biased, but I feel like the reason that a lot of blacks were voting that way is because they took accountability and wanted to take action back then. And I feel like nowadays we want everything given to us, which is what a lot of the things that the Democratic Party pretty represent and push everything to be given to you. You don't really get solutions that way. If
Mm-hmm.
everything was given to you, I mean, it's basically like feeding the baby. How are you going to progress like that? How is any kind of economy or system going to actually function as it should by constantly giving to the people like that without no kind of work or any kind of inventions or any kind of companies to form jobs or services? That doesn't make any damn sense logically. And it
Mm-hmm.
blows my mind. People still to this day think everything should be given. That's not how it works. So you
Mm-hmm.
want to continue to expect free money to be given to you without anything producing it? Are you crazy?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna show this of what you spoke about. See why Frederick Douglass mattered. He kept America focused on hard truths because he believed it necessary to be a strong democracy.
And this came from
This,
History Channel, by the way, in case somebody was like, "Oh, that's not a credible source."
and in reading it, just looking at it, and which I already knew because I have his book, he did vote Republican. He was a straight Republican. So the question is, you voting for people that are spoon feeding you. You voting for people that don't care about you. They just need your votes, and then they're gonna take your damn home away in a gentrification process.
And don't let me get started on how much the Democratic Party pretty much destroys businesses. A lot of the what are pretty much motives. Okay, I guess let me try to put it in a more of a sense, simple way, because it can be very like a whole spider web. Most of the time, people vote for a Democrat Party when they want things to be given to them. A lot of, let's say, community resources and government funding with very little actually things or structure behind to actually make it make sense to last long ways. More Republican way, and it's not all of it, it's more of like, okay, your hard work building and providing jobs when for by having companies investing in the companies so that local communities can actually function
Right.
and holding you accountable for your actions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that everything that they all represent? No. And then there's like some pros and cons. Of course, they both have their faults, but it's like a
Mm-hmm.
very simple way to pretty much explain it. If you want everything provided for you, most likely 9 times out of 10, you're going to vote the Democrat for you. If
Mm-hmm.
you like to be a hard worker, you want to invest and pretty much build your wealth without always looking for a second hand or to be spoon fed, you're most likely going to be voting Republican.
I agree. I mean, I see. This is the problem with our culture. We and I know I'm saying it over and over. Negroes just need to read and pay attention to the game that's being played because we keep being played over and over again. When are you going to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of being a puppet only during election time? Only time politicians come around to the community is when they want to be reelected.
Of course, that's the
Is that
game.
that's the only time that they actually want to come to your church, mess up where you are supposed to be giving your time to God, to give you a political speech to deflect, distract you from your time that you trying to put with God so they can vote. Does that really make any sense? To me, it does not. How you going to take my time away of me worshiping the person, the being that I'm worshiping, which is God, because of your selfishness, but you never around in the community. I don't never see you in the march. I don't never see you interacting. I don't never see the community getting better. I don't never see any of this. But you want my vote. And then when you get the vote, you look around, everything still looks the same.
Just because nobody wants to actually put the accountability and actions behind it. That's what I'm saying. That's why I keep saying that. And then just to help out most people, in your own words, just seem like, what are the 3 top things that Harris does to betray the Black community? Kind of make it simple for him.
Top things, I've said it earlier. I have not seen nor heard anything she's done. Now, don't get me wrong. What happens is simple. If you are a in a fraternity or sorority, one of your duties is to do community service, but it's required, but it's not mandated. So if it's required and not mandated, is she doing it on her own or is she doing it to fulfill something? Or if she's not doing it, that's what you need to ask. That's what you need to wonder. Because if you manage your time wisely, you can spend at least an hour a week in the community helping or reaching somebody, connecting with the community. Now, I have searched so much. I have searched so much to dismiss the claim that she said she's never claimed that she was black. I have been searching for that, and I have not found any documentation, videos, or nothing that said that she was black on video. Where I've seen all the videos that's out there, and if there's one, send it in that she claimed that she's Indian, which she's part of, which is fine, but at the same time, nothing in regards to her blackness until election time.
I definitely can see and agree to that. I think what, and this is what I hear on the opposite end, is because, and look, sisters don't get, well, you know, you can be mad, whatever. This is a raw show. When she joined the AKA, which we know was like a black sorority, that
Mm-hmm.
was pretty much like, I guess you can say, hey, the go ahead. She is pretty much representing us because we know, like, you know, sororities like that is definitely big in our community.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, it's like me saying, like, hey, okay, you can come to the barbecue, you know, family barbecue, like family now. So when you join an organization like that, especially because I think she was in Houston today or yesterday, and of course the sorority was highly represented. So it could be like a swing to get the black voters with that.
That,
Going
that
kind of
that's it. And the AK, all the AKAs don't all just because you're AK don't mean everybody's gonna agree with you. Don't mean everybody's gonna vote for you. But she's trying to push it. But you know the thing that I'm afraid of for the sororities, for the AKAs, is this. They put all this the ones that do vote for her, put all this faith in her, and she let them down. But then when she let them down, the issue is going to be this. It's not the individuals. The world is going to look at the AKAs, the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and they're going to start looking down on them as a group because she's using them and people know and she's mentioning them. There's many other politicians that are in fraternity sororities, but they have not and did not announce them. Why are you announcing a sorority that's a black sorority when you don't announce it for politicians that are white that are in fraternity and sorority? Why is it that you pushing this agenda?
hmm.
And why is it that you go to a sorority event when you have the prime minister of Israel speaking at the House in Congress and you miss it? That tells me your priorities are mixed up. And if your priorities are mixed up, then how would you be when it's time to go to war? Because as a combat veteran
I
myself,
sent
I'm
you. I sent
looking
you
at
something
it
too.
like this. I don't need a coward sitting there. I need a bulldog. I need someone that's gonna be like kick ass and take names later. We're not taking this bullshit and we're not gonna let somebody kick us in our ass. She has not shown anything from what I have seen, what I have read, what I have tried my best to look at, that she has a the inner dog fight in her. Because what people and blacks are not realizing is the fact that simple. Russia and China is knocking at the door. We can talk all this
Oh
crap
yeah.
all we want to, and then she's talking about wanting to ban AR-15s from civilians when we get attacked. And if you look up the population, and I'll look it up, the population of the United States, and I have always stated this, um, and people just keep ignoring what I'm saying. In 2022, our population is 333.3 million. That's our
Semi.
population, right?
I want right. I want
Oh,
you to show to something real quick, and it's like I'm trying my best on the spot to try something where Kamala Harris claims herself as black, but I want you to go to one link that just sent you. Start with MSN and then go to USA Today, and they are both throwing the same pitch that we just discussed, pretty much saying you pull it up, you'll see what I'm talking about.
okay, I'll pull it up. So, but you understand, what I'm saying in regards to this matter. It it, it does not make any it doesn't make any fucking sense
It doesn't.
whatsoever.
It really doesn't.
Whatsoever. It does not make any sense. Here, what is Vice President Kamala Harris ethnicity?
Scroll to the bottom. You start with USA Today. Yeah, just scroll to the bottom, and it says like what we just discussed. On the campaign trail, Harris has worked to appeal to black leaders and voters through conversations at barbershop, historically black colleges and universities. She attended Howard University at HBC, of course, HBCU, and a member of
Mhm.
Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. Now go to the other one, the other article I sent you, USA
Okay.
Today. I mean, not US, MSN.
Okay.
And when you scroll down, you will see. Keep going a little bit more. You'll see something. Yeah, it's like the same thing.
That's it. So the question is, what has she done in the community? My now, and this is what all I've been seeing and finding. So my question is, did she join? Did she become a member of the AKA? And did she go to Howard University just as a check mark to say I did something and let me see what it's like to be black on this side of the fence? And then now I got a taste of it. I know what it's like to be black. That's the question I have. Because people do that.
Oh yeah, all the time because
It is just not white people. Black folks do it. Let me just
oh
let me
yeah.
just do this checklist just to say I've had this experience or I know what it's like.
Then on top of that, here's another question that I don't think people get. If you are truly claiming to be black, why is it in question? Your
And my
actions should be loud enough for people to be like, "Oh yeah, you black." Like we don't have to second nature that against that.
my other thing is in regards to this matter is why is it the people they push in front of us are people that of mixed race, which I don't have no issue with mixed race. I don't. My grandbaby is mixed. I don't have an issue. But why is it that you have people that of non-color push people that look like us of mixed race versus someone that's not mixed race? Because
Because
anytime
honestly,
someone that's not mixed race, if you notice when they try to run for high office like that, what happens? They fall.
some kind of scrutiny
They
and
don't
all
give them
like
the
that.
support or
I
whatever the
honestly
case may be.
feel like America is not truly ready or wants to see someone just plainly an African American run because it goes against the motive.
I
It's
agree.
like, okay, if it's a little mix, okay, we can deal with that. You have a little. This should give a. It's like soon as someone come mix,
And
like
it's a
okay,
political
you got
angle.
enough, you got
They
enough
they might want
of
to try to hook
blackness
up with
to get the
India
black.
for whatever business deal by using Harris
Yeah, it's
because she
like you got
mixed.
enough
Because they
black to
tried to do
kind of.
that with Obama in Africa, remember?
Oh yeah, but like I said, it's America's like you got enough black to get credit, but you got a little bit something else, so we can work with that as long as you're not completely just African American, but
Hmm.
we can work with the mix.
And I agree. One of the viewers is saying, why are the Indian men so quiet?
That is a good question.
Why are they so quiet? Because from my understanding, I'm not Indian. My understanding is this: most people that are Indian or come from India don't like black people. They have an issue. They love white people. So that is fucking screwing my head. Why aren't they saying anything?
Because you expect to be a lot louder than that. And how this is on us when she's in.
How's this on
That's that
us?
because her parent exactly because I think when I read from the article, it's like her parents are Indian and Jamaican, right?
Yeah, Jamaican. The dad is a professor.
So I'm like, I'm.
It's all a game. It's that's what it is. It's all a game.
I put
And
like this.
people
I would
people
have
are
more.
starting to catch on to it.
I would have
And some
more.
people still want to be a fool because then if you still be a fool, then you don't
I
have to
put it
be
like this.
accountable.
I would have more respect for Kamala Harris if she said like, "Yes, I'm Indian and Jamaican." I would
Simple.
respect that fully because, like, yeah, we know that that's your parents.
Be simple.
I
But
would respect
why is
that
there a
a hell of,
game?
I would respect that, and this is me saying it on camera a lot. I would respect that a hell of a lot more because, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I see that clearly. It's right there. And with this, when you just claiming black, it's in question. That's why I said that earlier. Like, if no one has to question who you are, if you act and do as you just be yourself. The
I
moment that
agree.
someone has to question, like, are you sure? There's something wrong with that.
Hmm. I agree. I agree that she doesn't. I think she really does not really know herself because if you really know yourself, truly know yourself, You don't give a damn what anybody thinks or say. You're gonna stand on who you are. If you are
Exactly.
if you come from a Jamaican, black Jamaican, and a woman, your mother's from India, you be like, hey, this is my family. This is who I am.
Just say it.
But
We'll respect you.
it seems like people have a problem because they have, to me, no self-esteem. They don't know who they are. But it's causing also a problem within the community because they have no connection because they are confused
Okay,
and don't have no
I'll say
self-esteem.
this also as well. I think also with the fact that we have so many stereotypes and views of things going on, there's like a negative stigma, which I hate, for Indians, and a negative stigma against Jamaicans here in
Mhm.
America. And let's not bullshit. That's what it is. Because if the political party had no problems with Jamaicans or Indian at all, I
Mhm.
guarantee you, she would say, "Yes, I'm Indian and Jamaican," because it's like a
Mhm.
political approval for more of the voters.
Oh yeah.
So we internally have issues with them, but we don't say it loud.
And the
We shouldn't
fact
have
that,
no issues with them.
but at the same time, it to me, it is so freaking embarrassed to be able to see you have at a convention in Atlanta, you have Megan Thee Stallion twerking, and to the world, not just here in the United States, but to the world, you twerking, and you have a woman that's saying that she's running for president, a black woman, but then you open up with Megan Thee Stallion twerking. Then you also have Quavar reading, and you can tell he couldn't read that well because he was stumbling on what they wrote down of what to say.
I look.
Check this out. I want you to check this out of what Omar, Dr. Umar said.
Let's say Kamala Harris walks in. My question would be, how is Vice President Kamala Harris any better for black men in America than Donald Trump? How is she any better for black men in America than President Biden? President Biden may have drafted Bill Clinton's 1994 crime bill, but Kamala Harris did all she could to implement Bill Clinton's 1994 crime bill. Look at all the black people that Kamala Harris had arrested and thrown in jail while she served as a prosecutor over in California. So in my opinion, if the Democratic Party wants the black male vote, I'm not too sure they get it with Kamala Harris, but I know what she's going to do. She's going to do exactly what the Republicans just did in Milwaukee with our sister Amber Rose and with Hulk Hogan. Wait till you see the Negropeans who are going to speak at the Democratic National Convention. It's going to be a complete circus. I'm telling you what they're going to do. I believe they're going to grab the rappers and they're going to grab the athletes. They're going to find someone extremely popular within the hip hop industry and the entertainment world to speak for Kamala Harris or whomsoever the Democratic Party convention nominates. I promise you, because they have to outdo Hulk Hogan and they have to outdo Amber Rose.
Oh my
And did that not happen?
god! It did.
Did that not happen?
It did.
And it was embarrassing that you have the
It's
Republicans and you have the Democrats doing and having people as such.
Here's what I don't
That's
understand.
embarrassing to
This
our people. That's embarrassing to
it,
our culture.
it's
And we're not
embarrassing.
saying anything. We're not doing anything. We're being
You want to
dumbfounded.
know why? Because
So
we've
we don't
been
want to be
programmed for
accountable.
that.
This shows ignorance.
But look, it's popular. We've been programmed to believe this is who we are. So we're going to look. And we are. They are promoting the stigma and the programming by putting Megan Thee Stallion much more. Even though like she's a popular artist, some of the songs I do like
You're saying
of
we're
her. But
brainless.
when it
That's all they're
comes to
saying.
like a platform,
We're
but yeah,
brainless.
but when it comes to a platform like this, no. Why would I put someone like that in a convention like this to speak before my path or perform before my path? Get someone with more elegance or some like more a higher intellect to actually represent. That pretty much crushes the stereotypes, because what y'all just did, y'all pretty much promoted the stereotype and made
Yeah,
us more look like trash. And y'all
exactly.
thinking like, oh, this is cool. You know, we got millionaires on it. I'm like, y'all just put us so many years again back again. You're proving their point again
Over and over
and over
again,
and over again. Y'all don't
you
realize
reacting
that.
and not thinking,
And then
and
we
because
have
you
the
doing on
nerve to say
emotions
like,
and not thought.
yeah, and then they're gonna have the nerves like, well, we don't want to put no one up there that has some intelligence or may speak with some sense because it's not popular, it's not cool. Fuck
And this
that. You
and
making us look like a damn fool more than anything else. You putting
and
us further in
this
the back.
is the reason why the next generation of kids are going to be so pissed off with this generation because of the fucked up way of thinking, the fucked up way of reacting, and not using any thoughts and screwing up the country, the culture, and this world.
But we'll accept a bailout plan and we'll expect a bailout plan in a heartbeat. Can you bail me out for this?
That's it. Because, like I said before, Negroes, Negroes are smart. Niggas are ignorant.
He can make
Difference
this round.
is Negroes will read. They ain't gonna get their ass caught. Niggas gonna go off what he say, she say, and believe everything that's being said and told and not validate and verify. Just like I said, I started
I
saying
wish
earlier,
more of
when the more money, one thing about the movies that's true, all movies are true that they have in common. When it says trace the money, when you trace the money, you know where the money is going and you know where it's coming from and you know the ins and out. When you trace the money, if you're smart, you trace the money. That money that the government is giving is obtained and printed by the Federal Reserve, which is a private bank, a private entity.
that part.
And so when they take the money from them, Federal Reserve is charging them interest. And when they charging them interest, the government is saying, I'm not paying that. I'm gonna pass it on to the American people.
People.
And that is the reason why, or one of the many reasons why the inflation is high the way it is. Because the more money they keep bailing out and giving away, the higher the inflation is going to be. This is the reason why people are losing their home, because the inflation and being able to maintain, at least maintain a level of comfort, is starting to be no more. While the rich are still getting richer because they have the money to maintain, they know what to invest in, all that. Our community don't, because we're not taught and we're not trying to learn it. And this is why they're doing gentrification damn in every city, in every state.
And also,
That's why you have mortgage companies. No, no, let me take that back. Not mortgage company. You have banks, big banks going and buying homes, land, building homes on there, and renting the homes out to people, so then they can always be on top and have the money while you're suffering, while you're voting for people that's not for your best interest. You're voting for people that has never struggled the way you struggle. You're voting for people who are pacified, babyfied, and always want to be glorified. You are voting for people that don't know what it's like if you grew up poor and you had to have that block of government cheese.
they
You
don't, because they
and
don't
you
want to. They
struggle
want to. They want the
to
culture
get
and
out that
style of it.
hole. You are not voting for those people. You're voting for people that sound good, look good, smell good, and in some cases, they might screw good.
Oh, that's a huge fact. But yeah, that's gonna be a whole nother
So
podcast right there.
this is the problem in our community. And
Let,
yet and still, we are dying out just like the Native Americans. We're
absolutely,
dying out. We're being pushed out of our community, and we are
absolutely.
forced to be in an area and places that we don't want to be, that we're not comfortable being, and we're losing our own identity because we're allowing this shit to happen.
And let me point this out as well. This, when it comes to Kamala Harris, this is what I'm worried of. And people will criticize this. is like if I see her, this is what I'm seeing. Like when she comes in office, the problem I will see is like it's gonna be all hell for the black man. She's
Mm-hmm.
already have a history of locking up brothers
Mm-hmm.
for like minor offenses and things like that. I can definitely see the laws getting more strict on that. I can see more black women hating the black man because now it's going to be like we as the women are more in power and pretty much can rule over men. You
Mm-hmm.
can see it right now in the way that women are moving today. It's like this pretty much gave a green flag to push that even more boldly than ever. And they're going
Mm-hmm.
to make the argument, well, no, that's not true. I just want a man to step up and lead. But your actions don't show that. It shows more of
Exactly.
like I'd rather control, manipulate, and get what the hell I want. And you're going to provide in my own benefit and F your feelings and how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And if a man does not do that, he's not a man. So it's like it's going to crush the manhood.
Now, when you say that, I want you to make sure the listeners and the watchers understand. When you say, "Oh man," you're speaking about men that's actually good men, not the sorry ass men that's
Oh no,
running
not them
around here
sorry
having
motherfuckers.
all these
I'm talking
kids
about look. I'm
and
talking
and
about the brother who
and with
actually
gold teeth and pants hanging off their ass, and
look.
they want to talk about the LGBT, but
Look,
they
this is what
pants
I'm
hanging
talking.
off their ass, which is a jail thing, saying you ready to get fucked in the
The
ass.
funny thing is that the women love that, which is some bullshit emotions. But I'm talking to the brother who actually gets his ass up, works the 9 to 5, or works a good job, tries to provide, does the best he can. Does he make mistakes? Yes. But he's trying to be the best providing all he can, and he's open to learn. And he's trying to take chances for his kids and take chances for not himself, but as a family unit. Even though at times there's women that throws out and be like, oh, he's just being selfish for himself. A lot of the times when we make moves, and I hope y'all listen, women out there, it's for the bigger picture for all of us. You may not
Yeah.
understand what we're doing, but we're looking at the bigger picture for all of us, not just me,
And
but
we're
for
not
me,
responding
you,
on
the
fucking
kids, and
emotions.
all of
We're
that.
we're responding on
And we're
on
breaking it down.
intellect, and we're looking at every piece of fucking element to the smallest nucleus. We're looking at every single thing, and
But
that's
and
the
I agree,
problem.
but let me add on to that. And these are the brothers that I am talking about. The problem is our culture is so programmed to gravitate the high rich rapper or the high rich glory guy that has all this money, or the pimp that has the money and say I can provide all your needs even though I'm gonna treat you like shit. This is what the women gravitate to, and you want to destroy and crush the hard working brother and call him these bullshit ass names as a simp or something, simp, or he's too nice or something like that. You rather be beat upside your head, treated like shit, and pretty much all the above just because he has money, and then you want to complain that you're not respected. It what blows my mind every
But
fucking time.
but but
You
but I want to show
demand
this.
respect
Check this
after
out.
all that.
I want you to see this. This is what I was talking about in regards to why we look extremely bad in the world because of niggas acting like this rather than having Negroes. Check this out.
Can you unmute it?
Yeah.
Hot shit, hot girl summer. Why on this day? Why? And you said the N word too, man. Man, stop the tape. Stop the tape. Stop
No,
the
no,
tape.
I keep checking it out.
Oh, you got all these white folks over here and they seeing this shit. This was proving my damn point. Hot girl summer. You got women out there with like really shorts and all that and much more.
And then you have little kids that somebody
watching
might
this
want to
and
teach
white
them
people watching this.
about politics, and then you got
This
some
is
shit
not
like
the
this within
fucking
our
platform
community
for
and
this.
saying this is how you're supposed to perform in politics.
This is pissing me off on so many ways. This is not the If you like BET Hip Hop Awards and all that much more, like hip hop, okay, cool, I get it. That's like that stage. Not for this. What the fuck are we doing? We are embarrassing ourselves on so many levels, and then y'all cheer this shit. Y'all are some dumb.
You saw how many people that was taking pictures and watching.
Y'all some
now,
dumb.
And Megan did it just to do it because then that way they help her
it's a
next
big
record
platform.
sale.
It's a big platform. I get that, but it's not long term. That is not the. It makes us look really bad, super bad. It fuels the stereotype to a whole nother level. It pretty much says like, yeah, I told you those Negroes act like that, and this proves my point. They don't even know how to act.
All
They don't
we
know how
gotta
to
do
act.
is throw on that carrot.
They did this on a.
Or throwing some chicken in front of them, and they're gonna fall for the shit.
Yep, exactly. And then you'll have somebody be like, yeah, I can pimp that girl right there too, and all that. Oh, I probably offended somebody with that. You're showing it. What is wrong with showing some elegance in that kind of platform? Like I said,
we have no accountability
like
whatsoever.
I said, if Megan Thee Stallion
they don't teach that anymore,
or don't have no fucking morals. Like if Megan Thee Stallion did that on another platform, like I said, hip hop awards, something like that, I get it. Cool, kill the stage. Not for this. You making us look bad. Let's act like we can have some sense. Let's act like we can pretty much party and club it, but when it comes to elegance, we can showcase that. Let's show we have some diversity and some sense among ourselves. We can actually think.
Now, let me show you this before we wrap up. I'm gonna show you this. Is what I was talking about, Quavo. Why would you invite someone that has no understanding of politics? They don't understand anything, and you can tell it's scripted by the way he reads it, by what he says, and how he keep his head down. It's a game, but nobody pays attention to the small element.
Musician who showed up for Kamala.
If y'all don't know me, I go by the name of Quavo.
Quavo, who lost his nephew and Migos partner Takeoff to gun violence, helped introduce Harris to the crowd of 10,000 people.
And you can't understand the struggles of gun violence if you're not in the field or in the heart of it. So one thing I learned about working with Vice President Harris is...
First of all, when has he ever worked with Harris? Now that was a lie right there. That's a lie from the pit of hell. He never worked with Harris. When has he ever worked with Harris?
For this campaign we're promoting, nothing other than that.
When has he ever worked with Harris? For him to even say working with Harris. She just freaking became a nominee. And it wasn't done the right way. It was like, we don't have no choice. Let me just give it to you. And hopefully, there'll be no issues. But I want to catch that.
She always stand on business.
And then it came time for the VP to address the crowd.
Give it up for Quavo. And Megan.
She even fit a mention of the Atlanta native into her speech.
Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking
So, why would you invite someone that has no understanding of politics? Huh? Doesn't make any sense. All she's gonna do is get people killed, and they just passed a law where kids between certain age up to, I believe it was 35, will automatically be enrolled in the selective service. So if we go to war, guess what? They're gonna grab their ass. This time, they don't care if your butt, by no means, if you're in college, you're going. And right now, we have the lowest rate of retention. We have the lowest people coming into the military. And the reason is because of the Democrats allowing LGBT coming in, and they come in, the transgenders, and they want the military and getting the military to pay for their sex change. And they want the VA to cover the cost of the hormones and everything else that's expensive.
like I said, that is a whole political statement and podcast among itself right there. Because you don't piss off that whole community when you talk about that. He, she, that, it, whatever.
But niggas don't pay a fucking attention.
They don't ever want to. They want to be pretty much handheld off their
This is
emotions.
crazy. But we're gonna wrap up this. And I know one of them says, "Where's Baker?" Baker is taking a time off right now. I know you love Baker. We love him too. But you
And
know,
it's high controversy.
yeah, you know, sometimes he needs his little break too, just like everybody. That's why they got Saturday and Sundays. But you know, we've been going strong on here on In the Trenches. So I appreciate the love that you have. And if you really love Baker as what you say you do, check out our website, inthetrenchespodcast.com, and get some of the Baker collection of some of the famous and funny quotes that he has that we have out there for you. Hey, this is Chris, my boy. And matter of fact, Chris, tell them where they can find you, man.
Oh, you can find me at soulproduction.biz or at C Holmes to follow my social media and much more. And so, like, I have my own podcast as well that does its own thing. And oh yeah, I'm not gonna let that slide. Oh yeah, I can suck all you want to, but we go ahead and bring that hate and attention to me because it all comes on my podcast. I love the critics. That's what my podcast is about, that too. So you want to bring that hate to my show, go ahead as well. Tell your family and friends, because it ain't gonna do nothing but promote me that much more. I'm used to it. Peace.
All right, well, you heard it. This is your boy. I always say, don't be bitter, be better than execute. But remember, vote for the issue, not the color.
Exactly.
And then only we can start doing better, be better, and then we can execute the way we need to, not what others tell us how we need to. This is your boy, the ASSIEM, Jasim, and we're gonna make sure and hope we get our boy Baker back since he MIA. Peace out.
You've been listening to In the Trenches. Real, raw, plain speak without all the political correctness. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, reach out to TS&F Consultant and Management on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So long for now from In the Trenches.